Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we've seen a lot of reactions from the mainstream media from some of these leftoid figures who are supposedly considered authoritative sources. We've seen a whole myriad of pathetic attempts at defending themselves, usually in the form of slanderous attacks. You'll expose these people for being vile partisan liars, and they'll write hit pieces on you, try to get you canceled. You know, the same old, same old. We're used to their MO, their usual way of acting, but of course the usual doesn't tend to remain. The left is adapting, folks, and they've now adopted a new technique. Call them out on their BS, call them out on their lies, quote them directly, and they'll threaten to sue you. Yep, I guess that's the new tactic. Holy frickin' moly, just when you thought these media talking heads couldn't get any lower, they're doing the frickin' limbo at the level of Hermes Conrad from Futurama. Let me show you guys this absolutely disgraceful clip bouncing around X. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this morning I wake up and Corey Lewandowski is all over my X timeline with a tweet that says this: an MSNBC host threatened to sue me for defamation tonight for, by definition, the opposite of defamation, quoting his own words. Watch for yourself and let me know what you think.
Fox News, which has been caught in defamation, ran a false piece falsely stating that I said something else that I didn't say. So I stand on that. I stand on the New York Times
quote. So you
quote.
didn't say this bandage was a prop, a spectacle from a candidate who's obsessed with spectacles.
That's fair. A placard for delegates to fill in, an image for political mobilization, a spectacle for this candidate who we know is, by his own admission, obsessed with assorted spectacles. These aren't Mr. Lewandowski, I did not say that. That is a false quote.
Right here.
And
it's clear.
What you have is a false quote. What you have is a false quote. And I'm putting you on notice. If you continue to repeat falsely that I said that, you will be potentially in a defamation situation because I didn't say that. But I understand that you're working off the internet, which is a lot of false information.
This is what it says.
I wish you luck with that. And Corey Lewandowski, we gave you time.
So you
I
would
appreciate you coming
to the
on.
president for that.
Thank you for joining me. Corey Lewandowski, Trump 2024, and we will be right back.
Okay, so I guess at this point the argument's over, right? There's no more debate. I know MSNBC has tried very hard to defend themselves against the claim, but I think the claim, in the end, ended up being quite correct. MSNBC is fake news. I didn't say that, little Ari claims. But Corey Lewandowski literally plays the clip of him literally saying that. He's reading the quote off a piece of paper. You think he just got that off of thin air? You think it just popped up on Twitter? These absolute fools pretend as if all this stuff that they're saying isn't openly being broadcast to the masses. It's unbelievable. But really what I'm thinking about, what's glaring to me, is the level of horrible hypocrisy. All of a sudden the folks at MSNBC care a lot about being misquoted. Don't misquote me, I'll sue you for defamation, says this absolute clown, who's one of the many left-wing clowns in the media who for years have been pushing the very fine people hoax. You know how they keep talking about how Donald Trump was defending and praising literal white supremacists during that event in Charlottesville all that time ago. They played Donald Trump's statement totally out of context, purposely editing it and misleading the public. And now 8 years later, they still haven't corrected the record. They still say it all the time. And really, I think that example is just the tip of the iceberg. We also got the Covington kids, and recently, how they've taken a Joe Rogan clip speaking about Tulsi Gabbard and edited the clip in a way to present it as if Joe Rogan was talking about Kamala Harris. Here's Joe Rogan actually talking about the issue.
This has gotten so popular that my stepdad contacted me to tell me he's happy that I'm suing MSNBC. I'm like, I'm not suing MSNBC. But this is what MSNBC did. They took a clip of me talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and they edited it up and made it look like I was saying great things about Kamala Harris.
Wait, what?
Yeah. They just deceptively edited the things that I was saying, took it completely out of context, where I was talking about, first of all, I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and then I was talking about that the media behind Kamala Harris, all this surge and all these people just deciding that she's good, she could win. And they put the two of those together and made it seem like I was praising Kamala Harris and saying a bunch of things that aren't even true about it.
And here's the clip that MSNBC released to the public.
She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. She is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. They just want no Trump no matter what.
And now here we are with an MSNBC host concerned about his words being misrepresented or being misquoted to the extent that he's threatening a lawsuit. What an absolute frickin' clown. I mean, seriously, what a clown. You know, hopefully people are seeing this and they're finally waking up. These people are liars. They will say anything. They talk as if they care so much about the truth. Misinformation this and misinformation that. Ooh, dangerous misinformation being peddled by right-wing extremists. But as we always point out, they're the greatest purveyors of misinformation on the frickin' planet. It seems as though they get their cues from the North Korean dictatorship. I mean, for Pete's sakes, we're catching them in 4K constantly. If it's not MSNBC, then it's CBS. Here's a great example. I'll show you guys CBS News' reaction to Donald Trump's proposal of eliminating tax on tips, as opposed to their reaction to Kamala Harris's plagiarized proposal to eliminate tax on tips.
If you're a waiter, a bartender, a bellman, somebody in the service industry who gets tips for the work you do, your federal income and payroll tax would conceivably no longer exist. Although looking at the two proposals that were put out this week by House and Senate Republicans, there's actually a little difference. That's the kind of money overall that funds Social Security, Medicare, and other social safety net programs, so they'd take a hit. It's believed if it were to be enacted the way Trump is proposing it, it'd be about a $250 billion hit to federal revenue over the next decade. So the Culinary Workers Union, for example, that organizes a lot of them, says this Trump idea is unrealistic, that they think that their members are smart enough to know the difference between, as they said, real solutions and wild campaign promises from a convicted felon. The Biden campaign kind of scoffs at this idea as well. This is actually a great policy debate to see them having because it speaks to a real dollars and cents concern and an idea that's designed to help save, especially working class people, money. It's a Republican idea that's been out there for several years. The idea that if you are someone who makes a low minimum wage of like $2 and change an hour, but live otherwise on the tips you get from people, which can number far more than that per hour, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on that cash tip. Maybe even the credit card tips. It's been floated for years by various Republicans. In early June, when he was campaigning in Las Vegas, in Nevada, a state with the highest number of tipped hourly service workers, he said we should stop taxing people's tips. And a lot of people thought, well, that's crazy. How would you exactly make that happen? Democrats criticized him for it. The Culinary Workers Union, massive popular labor union in that state that can mobilize tens of thousands of voters, also rejected the idea, saying it's not sensical and it would have to be part of other solutions. Well, what did Kamala Harris do Saturday night in Las Vegas but say, I support ending taxes on tips as well as raising the minimum wage? We were out there, for example, in late June discussing this with waiters and bartenders who said, yeah, on paper, that's a great idea. It would save me. One woman told me that at the height of her bartending career, she was making about $100,000 a year in tips on top of a base salary. To not have to pay taxes on that would save her conceivably $30,000 a year, which she said would be a down payment on a house. Might be able to pay a car payment or pay off student loans for her daughter. So, there's real potential savings there.
It's so obvious, isn't it? Honestly, I think the clips I played, for the most part, speak for themselves. What a bunch of totally corrupted regime clowns. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.